Lights, camera, action. My speech is about film. I love film. Film's a huge part of my life. I research films. I watch films. I dream about films. It's just a huge part. What I'm going to talk to you about today is the three main things I look for in films, and since everyone's a critic, I can voice my opinion here. Those three things are acting, directing, and screenwriting. First, I'm going to talk about acting. Great actors, they do a lot of great things, but the main two things I look for is their screen presence. If my eyes are on them the whole entire movie, then they have my attention, they have my vote for Best Actor, and their character portrayal. If they act like themselves, if they act like their character, then they did a great job. If they act like their usual self, they act like at home, then they're not acting, they're just being themselves. Some actors that do this, and this is just my opinion, are Kevin Spacey in the movie The Usual Suspects and the movie Seven, Daniel Day-Lewis in the movie There Will Be Blood, Jack Nicholson in the movie Chinatown and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Anthony Hopkins in the movie Silence of the Lambs, and Joaquin Phoenix in the movie Gladiator. He had a supporting role in that movie and did better than the leading role. Second thing is directing. Directing basically directing is impressions. It's your impression after the movie. If a movie leaves you with a good impression, then that usually tends to be the directing was good. Directing has to do with the social impact of the movie. If you see a movie that's been out for 100 years and people still talk about it, it's because of its directing. And so good directors will have you wanting more 20 minutes after the movie's been over. Some films that do this are the movie Foxcatcher and Moneyball, directed by Bennett Miller. The movie Moonrise Kingdom and The Grand Budapest Hotel, directed by Wes Anderson. The Social Network, which is a movie about Facebook. And Zodiac, directed by David Fincher. My favorite director, Quentin Tarantino, directed Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Basterds. And Damien Chazelle, who directed Whiplash. Then there's screenwriting. Screenwriting is the meat and potatoes of a movie. It's what I go to movies to see and what I look for the most. So good screenwriters will take a book or a thought out of their head and convert it into a great movie. They make movies go anywhere. They can have a leading actor who doesn't have a lot of experience and take them to great heights. Some great screenwriters I look for are Paul Thomas Anderson. He wrote There Will Be Blood and The Master. Great guy. Great writer. Woody Allen, who wrote Annie Hall, which is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And Joel and Ethan Coen, who wrote Fargo, Barton Fink, and No Country for Old Men. They take drama, comedy, and horror, and they combine it into all one, which is insane. And Damien Chazelle, again, who wrote Whiplash, which is an insane movie that everyone needs to see. Lastly, I just want to talk to you about some movies that encompass those three things that I talked about, directing, acting, and screenwriting. And those movies are my favorite of all time. That would be Silence of the Lambs, Pulp Fiction, and There Will Be Blood, and Whiplash. If you haven't seen Whiplash, it's a new movie that came out in 2014 that's kind of an independent film that I highly recommend. So I hope you guys enjoyed my speech. I know I ramble on about film. It's just one of my passions, and it's what defines me. And I hope you learned a lot about me and a lot about film. Thank you.